I will punch your head all around my office. Mate, you just threatened to kill the gaffer's family. And you think you're England's number one? You're not even Derby's number one, mate. He must have been there for 10 years. And every single week, mate, he was paid cash. Mate, it was just an absolute car crash. Our own fans were booing us. Because we couldn't, mate, we were getting beat about fucking 7-0. We walking down the corridor, mate, he had this thing about walking around with the cricket ball. He used to walk around the whole training ground with the cricket ball and just fucking lash it at you from nowhere. He played 12 months before he was in goal for Man U. I'm playing for Tranmere, and now I'm picking him up at a casino. He said to me, I'm not going to play, but he's had a call off ITV, and I can go on, I'm a celebrity, get me out. He told him he can go on the show.
You're going alone to jungle. Steve Davies, how are we doing?
Yeah, very good, pal, thank you.
What?
You mumbled that. It was like a Stevie.
Stevie Davies? Stevie!
You alright, mate?
Yeah, good, pal. Very good, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, superb, mate. Obviously, been a long time trying to get on, and with this lockdown, been tough, but yeah, glad to be on.
What, the 21 degrees outside, red hot in here, and you've got a hoodie on with nothing underneath, so it could be a sweaty one today, lads.
Schoolboy, mate.
Shirts off.
Try and keep your arms down.
Yeah.
I'll be getting yeah, they're on the way. Yeah,
Mate, we've got 12 Peronis there, so we'll have to see them off and leave the car.
Did you two play together? Because you seem well acquainted.
No, I first met Devo on the King of Swindon stag do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
King Bill.
What a
that
guy,
was the first time, wasn't it, in the airport?
Yeah.
What were your first thoughts of Brownie? Because you can come across an arsehole to when you first meet him.
To be fair, mate, he welcomed me.
Did he?
Straight in, yeah. Was Tommy with us, or was it?
Tommy Spur.
Yeah, you, Tommy.
Griff.
Griff, yeah. I remember Griff turning up, just had his wash bag, didn't he? 4-day stag do, he had a wash bag, mate. That was it. Just a wash
That's
bag.
Griff all over, innit?
Yeah, but no, he was top man, welcomed me in.
You can be quite standoffish to start with, can't you?
Not on stag do's, John. That's
Well,
why I come into my own.
Well,
Could have
yeah.
established yourself early, though, weren't you, on a stag do?
Yeah, there's no...
He ended up
you're
meeting
not
drinking partner,
teammates, are
didn't
they?
he?
You're on holiday.
Yeah, drinking partner in the end. So it was
Where were it?
Amsterdam.
Yeah, so we can't really discuss too much.
We can't
about
go to leave it at that.
Yeah, we won't delve into Amsterdam, but it was good, mate. Really good.
Did you play with Bill or just
No,
local?
Yeah, just same with Bill. So I actually met Bill through... I was on Frank Fielding's stag do in Portugal, and he had the same agent and financial advisor as Bill did. So I become friends with him.
You know you've done a good job when you get a free transfer to the next stag do.
Yeah.
For someone you don't know,
Yeah,
you've
when
done a
you-
good job.
Yeah, so,
You made an impression, ain't you?
yeah, so it was like there was 3 or 4 years in between it. So I think Robert Snodgrass was one of their players as well, who I'd become friends with just through playing against them. And he was playing for Norwich at Liverpool. And after my game and after their game, we all met up in town, and Bill turned up, and then from there, mate, we were mates for, well, up until now, and that's when I met Brownie. On
What do you mean up until now? Do you think after this you might not be mate?
Nah, King Bill. Yeah. Got nothing bad to say about Bill.
You started at Tranmere.
Yeah.
How old were you when you signed in?
So I was at Liverpool from 7 to 15. Just went through the youth team there. Got released just before YTS and got the chance to go over to Tranmere, and went over there, mate. And within, I think I was just turned 16, and within 9 months I'd made my debut in League One. So it was something that happened really quick for me.
Debut at, what, 16?
Just turned 17, I had.
Right.
Just turned 17.
I think it's a different place, Liverpool, for footballers.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to play football in Liverpool. You know, as a young, like everyone's just plays football. I know they do all over the place, but so many people play football here, don't they?
To be honest, mate, I don't think I've ever played at a club where there hasn't been someone else from Liverpool.
Yeah.
I do a bit of part-time coaching of an evening with my friend who runs his own grassroots and just under academy level, like sort of football club. It was our first night Monday. We had from ages from 5 to 8. Mate, we had 480 kids.
Yeah.
for 3 hours. And it's like...
Is that the natural progression from the lads that maybe got released from Liverpool and Everton to look at Tranmere come and knocking?
Yeah, well, especially at the time, because Tranmere were in League One, so they were still doing really well. They just had a good couple of runs in the Carling Cup and FA Cup and stuff like that. But for me, it was... I think it took me about 4 or 5 weeks to get over the initial, I'm not going to be a footballer because you think the world's ended. But then from the minute I walked in there, like I played 30 minutes in a sort of trial game against, they done sort of a trial 11 against the under-16s 11. And within 30 minutes, mate, they brought me off and was like, listen, we'll give you a 2-year YTS and a year professional, like within 30 minutes. So
job done. From
that point, it was like, right, I need to knuckle down and crack on. And as I said, within 9 months, I was in the first team.
Who's in charge? Brian Little?
Brian Little was in charge, mate, yeah. From the first day in pre-season, he was brilliant. Like, towards the end of under-16s, I noticed that he was at our games a lot more, but I just presumed he was just having a look who was going to be coming in. And to join the YTSs, and from the first day, mate, he pulled me straight in his office and was like, you're coming straight with us. Like, I'm not saying you'll be playing for us, but you'll be definitely training with us every day. And then for about...
That must have been great for your confidence.
Yeah, I think because I'd just been rejected.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just something he'd seen. He was like, I needed my arm around me, or he just noticed it straight away. I don't know what he seen, but he just said to me, you'll be training with us straight away. I didn't actually play for a while, probably 2 or 3 months. But I was training with them every day.
But the fact that he said that...
Yeah, give me that. Yeah. So I thought straight away, even though being naive, I was thinking, I'm playing first day of the season here, fuck this, I'm in. Like, he's already told me.
Yeah.
If I just train well, I'm playing. Just because I was still a kid.
How did your debut go? Been happening so quick.
From what I can remember.
Like personally, were you?
Yeah, on a personal note, it was amazing because
professional footballer, right?
I've now played in a professional game. I know we played Oldham at home, but in the youth team, you get your tickets for the games, don't you? So you know where everyone's sat. So, and the fact that my parents were there, my sister and my family, it's one of them. Like it was something that you always want to gear up to, but once I'd done it, I wanted more.
Yeah.
My first instinct from the minute I walked off the pitch was I want more, and that was the type of character I was. Like, right, I've done that. What's next? Yeah. And that's the way I looked at it, like throughout my career.
You come off, you thought, I best sign Macca's boots. I best clean Macca's boots on Monday morning.
Yeah, well, even as well, mate, I had Ryan Taylor's as well who was playing. So the two of them were playing, and I was playing alongside them. But then after the game, taking the boots, like, may as well took them off the feet.
Thing is, for a fact, if you don't do them, you're going to get a big time bastard.
Yeah, and that's the way. I think that's what's changed in football now, especially massively. From retiring last year. At Hamilton, mate, the kids don't fuck all. The kids would like come in the dressing room, and because they're training with us or they're in the squad, and they'd sit in your seat. You're like, mate, that says my name, That means that's where I sit. Like, I can remember when I used to
that's not you being big time.
No,
either,
that's just the way I was brought up.
Just how it works.
Yeah, that's just the way I was brought up. I remember the first time we had an away game for Tranmere. Mate, I must have stood up for half the journey because I didn't know where to sit. I just stood at the back of the bus, like till everyone's on. So where you pick people up at different spots, like how we're going to Knutsford, we're going here. Mate, I stood up until, was that the last spot? Oh, fucking hell, sound, I'll sit next to the driver down there. I was stood up the whole time. Just because...
That's what it was.
But that was the way it was. And I think that's what made football more enjoyable for me. Towards the end, I was like, fuck this. I really wasn't enjoying it.
Even if you ask a young man to make you a cup of tea, they're like, I can't make a cup of tea.
Yeah, don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to make a cup of tea. And that's not you being a dickhead asking a young lad to make a cup of tea. That's just how it works. We'll make a pot of tea, young man.
I think I would just go and make it myself. I don't think I've ever asked a young man to make us a cup of tea. I know you have.
Only Mate, you'll make me coffee.
Yeah, you just fucking had me making them.
But only as a meant to make a point.
Do you mean?
Like, only to like, look, you might have trained with us today, but you're fucking miles off it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Don't think you can go into...
Bollocks, you're just a lazy bastard.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody there who'll make you a brew, you're asking them.
Well, yeah, there's that. But
Do you want one, mate? I'll go.
He was hinting there.
Fucking roasted. I'll go for a
Just
breather.
pause that. Do you want coffee? But you used to love being a YT, didn't you? Doing all the shit and all the jobs and all that. It were horrible at time, but it was...
Mate, I used to love the feeling of... Remember when you used to have to get up and sing? And it's like, you'd stand up and your voice would just like completely break. And it's like...
You used to love that?
Mate, I used to think it was the best feeling in the world.
You were sick old, mate.
Yeah, I'd get up and be like, I know I can't sing, but...
You go for it.
No, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't even go for it. But it's just the feeling of, I'm uncomfortable. I used to think, it's fucking great, this. You know?
If I could bottle this feeling
Yeah,
up
if
right
I
now.
could just keep this. That was just the way I try to live my life. If I was comfortable, I was unhappy.
Being out your comfort
Yeah,
zone.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm sweating just thinking about that, flipping the tap on the glass
Oh.
to stand up and sing.
Did you have one at... Well, you must have done it. You remember it at Tranmere?
Do you know what, mate? This sounds really stupid. Them sort of years since I had me injury with my head, I remember them, but not completely. And I know it sounds like you look back and you think, fucking hell, it's just because you've had it happen. I swear on my kid's life. I can remember the times,
Yeah.
but I can't remember specific things of what I've done or when I've done it. But I can remember games, if you know what I mean.
Let's move on a couple of clubs.
Oh, yeah. There we go, next.
22 games in your first season as a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Happy
One of
with
them,
that,
mate.
man.
Yeah, one of them where I was a centre forward, but I was never going to play centre forward because Gareth Taylor, Chris Greenacre, Calvin Zola, Eugene Daddy, players like that who were seasoned professionals were always going to play ahead of me. So I ended up playing left midfield and sort of just changed the way I played, but it sort of helped me because I knew the type of ball that I liked to receive. I was a centre forward, so it was easier because I was thinking, if I just, I wouldn't run at anyone and beat them because I'd be thinking he'll beat me anyway. But I was technically really good, so I'd just shift it out my feet and just cross it and sort of just eased my way into it. I don't think I started many games, probably 4 or 5, but whenever he needed to make a change, I would always be someone he trusted and relied. So from an early age, mate, I felt like I was respected for what I could bring to the team. You know, as a young lad where you think...
A big boost then, isn't it?
Yeah, where you think, oh, there's just a hype about this kid. No one really knows what he's like. I was respected by the staff and the first team players because I trained with them already.
It's just, I mentioned it a lot about trust. You need, once you got the trust of the staff and the players, then...
Yeah, you're flying, aren't you? Yeah,
feel.
it's just... I was never fazed by anything, which is probably why you've just said I'm a sicko. Nothing would ever faze me.
By the way, how old was Calvin Zola at this point?
39.
He was in the same the same age group as me.
He's only just retired now.
I've mentioned him before. He was at Newcastle.
Yeah, mate.
Under 16s, and they had to release him because they found out he was fucking 29 or something.
Mate, when I
Seriously?
when I was at Hamilton, we went to a place called Largs for pre-season. And is it Craig Brown who used to be Scotland manager?
Yeah.
He works for Aberdeen. And it was a bit like a meet and greet. So he was the manager's friend. So the boys all had a beer and he was talking and he was asking questions. Someone asked him who was the shittest player he's ever seen. Mate, Calvin Zola. Honestly, he said we signed him for Aberdeen. He said he was the shittest player I've ever seen in professional football. I thought he was decent.
Yeah, he was good at under 16s.
Yeah, that's because he was 23.
Oh, he's developed. He's already developed.
Mate, he used to drive into Tranmere in a fucking Clio. I swear to God, he must have had the front seat taken out and he'd sit in the back and just drive it, mate. He was that long. He was just like...
Did he do all right at Crewe?
He was at Crewe, yeah.
Mate, honestly, he was a handful. Like a serious handful, but he I think he just aged really quick.
So that was a genuine story.
He left.
Because he was too old.
Yeah. Was he from Congo?
Yeah.
He was from Congo, wasn't he?
Mate, when he signed for Tranmere, I think he was 21.
That might be an exaggeration.
What year was your youth team then?
Well, I was at 84 birthday, so 2001, 2002, he'll have been.
Yeah, so I was 87. Birth. Yeah, so when he signed for Tranmere, he still said he was 21, mate.
That's lying, isn't he?
And that was 2006. So if you was 0102, mate.
You look young.
Do the maths.
You look, no.
He's one of them you
Bald.
look old. Yeah. Tash. Everybody's got a tash. It's a ringer.
Yeah, his hairline was up here already from the start, wasn't it? So it went to the cornrows, was it?
But
What were he like, Goodinson?
Oh, brilliant, mate.
Because I played against him when he won another one. I think he was knocking on.
Yeah.
And he was just a nasty, horrible, like, elbow you.
Yeah. Mate, he used to, even from till the day I left, I hope he's back in Jamaica now so he doesn't listen. He's the only person I've ever seen in football that literally got paid cash, mate, every single week. Would literally bring his bag in and then leave with it. He was giving cash, mate.
has someone told a story about him? Is he up to no good in Jamaica or something?
I can't remember.
He was in with.
Yeah.
The heavies.
Yeah, he was causing fucking havoc, mate. Well, he must have been there for 10 years. And every single week, mate, he was paid cash. He used to just come in with his bag, drop it off on the table, and then pick it up on the way out. And then jump in his car, mate. But
so
we had
exit negotiations, like, how much cash?
That's what I mean.
How much for cash?
Yeah,
We
you
had
do it cash.
Theodore Whitmore at the time, who played for Jamaica as well, who went on to manage Jamaica, played in the World Cup for Jamaica. And he used to live with Goody. And he'd just be like, everyone else, get your pay slip. And Goody was just in there, mate, like, go on, lads, fill that up.
I just see them all leather bags, you know, it's like, firm,
like a sport bag.
Like a little purse thing.
Yeah.
Mate, he used to just, go on, lads, fill that up and just fuck off.
I played with lads who've had a top up.
Yeah.
They'll get the normal pay slip and stuff.
And then,
they'll get looked after.
He was full cash, mate, every week. Full cash. He wasn't even monthly. Every week. Every Friday, mate, he'd be like,
He's on books as a cleaner.
Fill that up. And then he'd just go home, mate. Crazy.
How long before Ronnie Moore come in?
12 months.
Right.
Yeah,
So were you
Brian.
sad to see Brian Little go?
Yeah, but by that time, mate, he was starting to look old. Because if you can remember him at Villa and places like that, he always looked like my granddad.
Bit frail.
Like he was
Yeah.
just old and... Yeah, how can I describe it? Bit like what we were saying before, he just looked done. Like he wasn't getting angry. He just looked like
I think he'd had enough.
Yeah, I think he just had enough. And then,
That his last job, was it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he went in and done anything else after that, but then Ronnie Moore come in and was the complete opposite. He was fucking like a lunatic, just screaming and shouting all the time. I remember he said something to me one day and I told him to fuck off. And he didn't say anything, but you know when you're like, he's fucking noted that. No, like just after that, I wish he'd have said, who the fuck are you talking to? He just looked at me and was like, and for the rest of the training session, I was thinking, oh, fuck, he's going to get me at some point. He called me straight in afterwards. He was like, you fucking ever speak to me like that again, I will punch your head all round my office. And I was like, okay, Ronnie. Sorry, Ronnie.
So you were only 18, is she?
Yeah, 18, mate.
Sometimes it just comes out, doesn't it? Oh, fuck off, man.
I was like, oh, fuck off, Gaff. I think it was like a throw-in. It was our ball and he gave it to the other team. I was like, oh, fuck off, you prick. And he was like, oh, no. But you know, when you say something, you're like, fuck off, you prick. And you're like, trying to push it back in. That's what I was like, man, trying to catch it before it got to him.
The prick's probably the one that sends it over the
Yeah,
edge.
he just
as well.
singing, innit?
Yeah.
He just looked at me with disgust. He was just like, I'll remember that. And then he pulled me straight afterwards and threatened to punch me head in all over his office.
Apologise.
Oh, yeah, fucking right, I did. Do you want anything, Ron?
Did were there Leeds coming for you
Yeah.
a few times?
4 or 5 times, mate. So we played Leeds the following season on the first day. I played really well. We got beat 2-1 at home. And I jumped in my car after the game. And I had like a number ringing me. And I was like, who the fuck's this? So I answered the phone. He was like, "Hi, Stephen, it's Gus Poyet." I was like, "What?" It's like, "Hi, Gus." Like,
Hi, Gus.
just changed my voice straight away.
I did what you.
Yeah.
I had Gus. I am Mr. Poyet.
Yeah, I just froze, mate. Because he was obviously, we just played them. He was assistant manager. And he was like, really impressed today. We're going to do everything we can to get you. So I was like, right, okay. I was like, what's the process now? He was like, no, you just keep playing. I just wanted to make you aware that we're watching and we're going to get it done. Mate, 9 games later, they've had 4 or 5 offers rejected. I've done me fucking cruise shit, playing Northampton. So
was Tranmere a selling club at this point? Or do they need to sell? Or
yeah, well, Humie had just left to go to Leicester. Ryan had gone to Wigan. Yeah. So I was the next one. But I don't think they were ready to let me go yet. But I ended up doing me cruise shit. And I just panicked straight away. I was like, shit.
How long did you have left?
I was up at the end of the season. This was the 3rd season. So I was up.
Have there been talks of giving you a new contract?
No, nothing. Like, they hadn't said anything.
Sloppy from them, really.
Yeah, so it become really awkward because I'd now done my cruise shit. Leeds are still phoning me. They still want me. But Tranmere aren't doing anything. Like, they were just sitting there. So I actually spoke to Ronnie Moore as not as my manager or anything, like more as like, I need advice. Like, I'm struggling. Am I going to be the same? I'd had the surgery. And he was like, what are Leeds saying? I was like, mate, they want me to go there to have a look at it. He was like, go on. He said, take the day off and go.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, so I drove to Leeds.
and you got a good relationship with Ronnie then after you talked to
really
fuck
good,
off,
mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. I think he could see me in him, if you know what I mean. Because by this time his son had signed, so he was playing.
Yeah.
But he was coming towards the end, and I think the way I played or the way I relayed stuff, he could relate to really well. So he sort of was like, listen, take tomorrow off, go to Leeds, have your medical, and we'll try and get it done. So I went to Leeds. They were like, brilliant. It's fine. We'll put another offer in. If it doesn't happen, we'll just sit and wait till the summer.
With compensation? That would have been.
It would have been compensation. Yeah.
That must have been a massive relief. That because you're thinking, fucking hell.
Yeah, it was up until fucking. Yeah, but Dennis Wise got sacked then, didn't he?
Oh.
So I'd done my medical. Didn't talk anything about contract, and he got potted. So he was gone. So I was then about 5.5 months in to my rehab, and I was thinking, shit, I need to like let clubs know that I'm back. So I come back too soon and played against Forest because we was in the playoffs and Forest were in the playoffs. Come on for like 10, 15 minutes, and then straight after the game, Paul Jewell phoned me from Derby and was like, right, you're coming here in the summer. So I was like, 100%.
They'd just been relegated.
No, the season was still going. Yeah, the season was still going on. So I went straight away into Ronnie Moore and said, listen, this isn't moving. You aren't budging on, you haven't offered me a deal. He was like, listen, I'll tell the chairman that the club's reached out to you about next year. Let's mention it to her and see what she says. So then she started coming back with offers. But by that time, mate, I was long gone.
Heading Derby.
Yeah.
Did it have to go to tribunal?
Yeah, it went to tribunal in the end. But it was just messy, everything. I think
does that affect you at all, like going to tribunal? Like, I don't know the process.
Basically, you sign your contract and then do the sort of tribunal like the fee after it.
I think so, yeah.
I
was already a Derby player.
Derby, get on
I played 5-6 games before the tribunal actually come round.
Mm. So players don't get involved, do they really?
No. I was never aware of what was going on.
So on a personal level, you're sorted.
Yeah.
You've signed your contract, you're a Derby player.
Just let them get on with it.
If the tribunal says it's 10 million quid, they've got to pay it. Or 100 grand, they've got to pay it.
Yeah.
So from a player's point of view, you're not worried, are you?
No, I was laughing, mate. I was like, see you later, I'm gone.
What was the fee in the end?
I think it was I think adding it all up together was like 1.2 million. All
Big
in.
money then.
Yeah.
The Tranmere still doing all right at it then.
Yeah, fucking flying.
They might have known that then. They might have known, rather than getting the fifth, if this goes to Tribune, we'll get at least $1 million. So whichever way we go about that.
Yeah, listen, I was made up that they ended up with that amount because it pays for other young lads from my area to come through. So I wasn't worried about the fee as long as they got something that they deserved, which they did. I was just more bothered about the way I was treated.
How did you get on with Barney Rubble?
With who?
Paul Jewell.
Paul Jewell. Brilliant, mate. To be fair, absolutely brilliant. I agreed to go there. And Derby were playing Everton in the Premier League at Goodinson. So he's phoned me and was like, Davo, where are you? So I hadn't come back and played the game for Tranmere yet. It was Grand National Day. So I'm fucking at Aintree. Mate, steaming. I'm like, shit, Paul Jewell's ringing. So I phone my agent. I'm like, Paul Jewell's ringing, what am I going to do? He's like, just fucking answer. So I'm like, right, let the race go off. So the race gone off. I know all the fans go to the track, don't they? I'm like fucking running the other side. I'm like, hi Paul, you're okay? He's like, yeah, where are you? I was like, I'm at Aintree. He's like, be outside in half an hour, I'm outside. So I'm like, oh shit.
Slurry?
Yeah, it's steaming. So come outside, there he is parked up. He's like, come on son, you come to the hotel with us, we're playing Everton tomorrow. So he's took me to the hotel. Pissed. Made me stay in the hotel. Still pissed.
Bit annoyed?
Fucking fuming.
Didn't even see who won the race.
Yeah. Mate, it was literally just before the National. Made me stay in the hotel with the team. Got up Sunday morning. He was like, right, there's your tickets, I'll see you at Goodinson. That was it, mate. I think it was just a little power of, like, you play for us now. Even though
pulling you away from
I still had my contract, I was still a Tranmere player, but I'd already agreed that I was going there.
But Paul Jewell can't have known you were into races, could he?
No, I think he thought it was a good thing, like, come and see how it's done here
at
a big club, come and stay at the hotel. Like, I got up the next morning in the suit, still had the suit on.
Still on.
The
Members in clothes.
The lads are sitting at breakfast in the shorts and t-shirt. Right, and I'm sitting there in a full fucking suit thinking, I look a right prick here. Just like, hi mate, you all right? It was fucking horrible. That's how it come about, mate, and that's exactly what he done to me.
Probably a good from him, really.
Yeah, he was, to be fair to him, mate, he was a top bloke.
Good that he didn't think, no, I'm signing a piss out of you.
Yeah, probably.
But it's Grand National, isn't it? You're Aintree, you're a Liverpool lad, and that's what...
Yeah, it's a massive day. I don't know if have you ever been to it?
No. Is he Scouse as well, Jewell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a massive day for the city. Well, it's a massive 4 or 5 days for them. Like I think even people that don't gamble on the Grand National Day, mate, literally everyone in the city
event
has had a bet.
Best day here to do an armed robbery, Grand National Day. Yeah. Most money at bookies.
Wouldn't be surprised, mate. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Not that I'm thinking about doing one, but if it's the best day.
Give us a shout, mate. I know a few bookies.
5:30 Saturday, Grand National Day. Best day to do an armed robbery.
We're at an eye-opener, obviously, for state training ground, because I imagine facilities are a lot different than at Tranmere.
Yeah, walking into a dressing room, mate, when fucking Robbie Savage is in there is enough to be like, oh shit, because he was full on. Like,
on you?
Yeah, on everyone. Even players we had Alan Stubbs, people like that, Roy Carroll, all big personalities and big footballers. So it was literally sink or swim.
Do you think Robbie Savage will like that full on because, and I'm not holding it against him because he's had an incredible career, but do you think he will like that to mask over the fact that he weren't a great player, if you know what I mean?
Mate, you know, honestly,
I don't mean that Robbie Savage weren't a great player, obviously, but you know what I mean?
I think he was better than what he was perceived to be.
Yeah.
Because in training, he was fucking incredible. I think he just had... People just... Because the way he played and because he was gobby and mouthy and all action, I think he was just labelled shit. Well, not shit, but like not up to level of...
Headless chicken.
Yeah, but he weren't, mate. Like, his ability was really good. But you respected him as well because he had done... Like, I don't think you can be shitting how many...
Yeah.
Was he 15 years in
You don't get many really good players that are chirpy like that, do you? You know, that are at people.
Yeah,
that reputation. So you
I
always think somebody's one or the other.
I think that his persona give him that little bit extra when he played, because if he was quiet or
people are concentrating on his
insecure,
football more.
yeah, I think that was his mask. Like, he was a showman, like Robbie Savage when he gets on the pitch, because he's completely different off the pitch than he was on it.
Thing is, I wouldn't blame him if his self-esteem was low, because he's had managers saying to other teammates, do not pass the ball to Savage.
Yeah.
So he had every right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I honestly believe that he was insecure and low and down.
Did he get you with the big time shouts? We had Dicko, he used to come for Dicko, didn't he?
To be fair, mate, I signed about 2 weeks before Dicko.
Took all the heat.
And once Dicko came in, mate, I was fucking buzzing. I was like, when he walked in, I was like, that's, have you seen it?
Get on him, Sav.
Look at his feet.
Yeah, look at them, fucking 10 to 2. But no, listen, Sav, I think that was Sav's character. Like, that was the way he would welcome you into the team. But because I'd seen it with Jason McAteer and Gareth Roberts, players like that who'd had good careers, I was just used to it. So I would never challenge him. If he was taking a piss out of me, mate, I'd just sit down, take your medicine.
Yeah.
Like,
See anybody turn on him?
on Sav,
Thing is, he had Bywater as his security, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
Bywater was his fucking his roommate, weren't he? Mate, I'll tell you a funny story. We went to Marbella and we've all got, so it was an international break, so we've all got our rooms. So we're all in the hotel. Sav and Stevie are in the hotel. Sav's like, fuck, I'm not fucking staying in this. He's like, round the pool, I'd like, know the little villas. He was like, I want one of them. So the lad's like, fucking prick. Like, the fuck's he think he is?
You think he's too good for the hotel that he's stopping in?
No, I think he just wanted to be in his own comfort. Like, he didn't want to be, because there was no training or anything going on. It was literally just a piss up.
was this under Clough?
Yeah, and Sav wasn't a very big drinker. So he had his own little...
I think it's part of playing up to the persona as well. You know, being a bit...
Yeah, I think...
Do you know what?
was.
I'm gonna go for one of them.
Yeah, but he had his own... He ends up organising his own villa, which overlooks the pool. So the lad, mate, we're on it for 4 days, like, really going for it. We get on the bus to go home. And so we're all sitting on a bus ready to go. And Gary Crosby, who's assistant manager, comes on. He's like, Sav, reception, want you? He's like, want me? He's like, I've paid for me fucking, paid up front for the room for 4 days. He's like, reception, want you? So he goes in, mate. Every single bevy that we'd had throughout the week, every player put it on his room. He had a €4,500 bar bill. And he just got on a bus and was like, you cunts. And we were like, that'll fucking teach you. Did
he take it all right, though?
Yeah, he just paid it. But that was like, we had Gary Teal, players like that who had all played in the Premier League and had been on good money. They were like to us, hey, just put it on Sav room. Every time you went to the bar, they were like, what room? You just go, that one over there.
That big villa in the corner.
There's a lot staying in there.
So, because it was overlooking the pool. Like, you didn't even need to know where it was. You just go,
I'm asking for an itemised bill.
Excuse me, love. That one there.
One of the bus and he went, I don't even bloody drink WKD.
Yeah, but Sav doesn't drink. I've never seen Sav drink. But he got whacked, mate, with this fucking whopping bill. And he just walked on the bus and he was like, you cunts. And everyone was just crying, laughing.
Yeah,
but
to be fair to him, I think, hasn't he?
To be fair, he just swallowed it, mate. And just was like...
No, I'm itemised bill, me. Who's been on the pina coladas? With highlighter like that. It's €320.
Like that to driver, do not start this bus
Yeah.
until we've sorted this out.
But it's funny because at that time we had like Jay McKevely was there, Stephen Pearson, and them two, mate, once when they were together were fucking carnage.
See, he came to Stoke on loan, Stephen Pearson, and
Yeah.
he seemed really quiet.
Mate, he was a lunatic. Absolute lunatic. We went there for 4 days, flew back. So we're now at the carousel. So we've been there for 4 days. We're now at the carousel waiting for our suitcases to come back. Jay and Piero have been arguing for 4 days because they're in the room together. So Piero's one side and McKevely's the other side. So they get the cases and they live together also in Derby. So Piero goes to Jay, where's my car keys? And Jay just turns around, mate, as normal as anything, and goes, in the safe, mate. And he's like, you are taking a piss? He's like, yeah, they're in the safe.
At the hotel?
At the hotel back in Spain. Mate, we're in East Midlands Airport. Mate, we're in East Midlands Airport, but just dead calm, was like, in the safe, mate. And he's like...
Like, just nip back in and
he's
get
like,
him.
nah. He's like, yeah. He was like, yeah, but you took everything out. He went, yeah, I took the passport out. You didn't tell me to take the keys out. And he was like, you fucking idiot. So they sat at the airport, mate, for hours waiting for someone to come and get into his car for him. Fucking crazy.
I remember speaking to the Crofty, and during the international breaks, we always got our weeks planned, didn't we? Like, you'd get a couple of days off, wouldn't you? And then you'd get the weekend off.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we'll go to Miami.
Yeah, that's what we
You used to love it, didn't he, Clough?
Yeah. He never came.
Unbelievable. Did he not?
No. Never, ever.
Who did he send? Crosby?
He'd say Gary Crosby, Andy Garner and Martin Taylor. But he'd be at the airport because he had a place in America, I think, with his family. So he'd always book our flights for the same time as his. So he'd be in the airport, get everyone steaming, and then just fuck off. Go on his family holiday, and we'd all just pile into anywhere.
And was it just from as soon as the plane takes off?
Mate, the first time we got the Marbella one sorted, we had a game at Malaga Stadium, and the fans got wind of it, and about 10,000 of them turned up at Malaga Stadium. We were playing Malaga in a pre-season friendly. Well, in a friendly that they'd organised us to go there, so he was like, the board were like, well, you need a game out there because we can't justify it. So Nigel was like, right, we'll organise a game. So 10,000 fans have turned up, mate, and we were drinking at the pool at 11 o'clock, and the game kicked off at 8 o'clock. We had fucking Martin Taylor, who was the goalie coach in goal, because the goalie was steaming. Gary Teal was throwing up on the back of the bus. I played 5 minutes, got hooked off because I couldn't see. Mate, it was just an absolute car crash. Our own fans were booing us because we couldn't. Mate, we were getting beat about fucking 7, and we were all laughing. Like, no, when the ball goes past you, and you're like, mate, the ball's fucking long gone. It's gone. But we were fully.
I bet there were some like proper busy fans as well that had come for the game.
Yeah.
They weren't what are they doing? What are they doing? Taking the piss.
Honestly. And so when we've got back after the trip, Nigel was like, what the fuck happened there? And Martin Taylor was like, you can't control them. And he goes to Gary Crosby. Cros, you're meant to be fucking sorting out. He's like, I said to them they could sit round the pool and have 2 beers. He said, I went to my room, come back down. He said there was fucking unicorns, crocodiles, big inflatables, he said, all in the pool, and lads are fucking flying out. Honestly, pre-match meal, mate, lads were having a bottle of lager with the pre-match meal. And then, like, we think, do you know that fear of, I'm pissed, like, but I reckon I could sober up. So we're like, everyone sat on the bus, the aircon's fucking beaming on people like, that's twisting it. And then you just, mate, Gary Teal was sat in the middle aisle and he just spewed up. But then as the driver's braking, like the way it just travels up, so it's like getting to the next people and they're like, and
It'll be rising with the heat as well,
mate,
the
before
smell.
you know it, everyone on the bus is like that in bags, like trying to be sick because of the smell. We must have got off the bus, mate. The fans were there and the lads were like, it was roasting, mate. Like the hottest I've ever felt. Like hotter than this room. But it was like, oh shit. It was like a fear of. So that feeling when you're pissed and you're like, I better curb it here. And then you get outside in the fresh air and you're like, how am I going to get home here? Like I'm proper in trouble.
Worse than what I thought.
Mate, well, once you put your boots on and walked out and the sun just like, boom, you're like,
Oh shit.
oh fuck, what am I going to do? But it was...
Probably where it was mid-season one, it wasn't like a pre-season do.
It was the first break. So it's still piping, isn't it? So it was the first one in late September, innit?
You're announced
When you walk out.
Yeah. Clough used to say to the lads, right, you're going to have the week off. Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
And Turns, he said, Big Ben Turner said, you got to the point where the lads were like, I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. It did get like that.
I don't want to go again.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go Miami, we'll go Vegas, we'll go Marbella, whatever.
When you walk out as well in Malaga, they're doing doggies in perfect unison.
It's not like when they're all dead brown and with the jet black perfectly and you're like that.
Just the escape to victory, can't you? You know, Germans are all fucking meticulous.
I was Bywater on these trips because we've had a few tales.
Oh, Stevie's just a fucking lunatic, isn't he?
I think he's a lunatic without knowing he's a lunatic.
Yeah,
and he just thinks it's normal.
Without meaning to be a lunatic, yeah.
Mate, I remember sitting in the dressing room with him and he was telling me about he was booking a holiday for him, his missus and his 2 kids. Don't know if he's got more now, but he had 2 kids. So he was booking a flight. So he's like, yeah, Dave, do you think this is a good price? So I'm sitting there thinking, is he fucking winding me up here? I'm like, I know there's 4 of them. I'm like, Stevie, that's expensive for 4 people, mate. He's like, no. Like, look, have a closer look. So I'm like, go ahead. So he gives me his phone. Mate, he's paid for 12 seats. I'm like, mate, there's only 4 of yous. He's like, yeah, we sit in the middle. We've got 4 seats in front of us that are spare and 4 seats behind us so no one can sit by the kids. And this was like 2008. So this is like well before the times we're in now. So he's paying for holidays for
12 people.
For 12 people, just so no one sits by him.
I wonder if he's got rooms next door at a hotel and all, so there's no noise.
He's just a fucking lunatic. I'm like, mate, surely it can't be that bad. Like, he's like, yeah. But as he's talking to you, he's got like his hand gel. And he's like squeezing it on. And then he's like...
Was he a bit like a germ-free?
I think he is. I'm not too sure, mate. To be honest, he's that much of a fucking lunatic. I never asked.
He's been way ahead of his time then, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he brought it over here. I thought, I'll wipe these out. But no, he was some character. I remember him falling out with Nigel. Like a big, massive falling out. So we've played Tuesday. We end up getting beat 2-0. On a Wednesday, we're all off as normal. On the Thursday, I dropped Gracie off at nursery. So I was in for like 8 o'clock. As I've drove in, I'm like, fucking hell, the gaffer's in early. Gone in, not thought anything of it. Walk past the gym, Bywater's like, Davo, come here. I'm like, what? He's like, oh my car, lad, in the gaffer's spot. I'm like, oh mate, you haven't. He's like, yeah. He says, just sit here. Sit here with me till he pulls in. So I'm like, go on then. So I'm sitting there, mate, giddy as fuck, thinking, what's he gonna do? Gaffer's car comes in, pulls up, goes to get in the space, obviously sees Stevie's car. Stevie double taps his boot. Boot comes up, mate. Orange helium balloons. To the bathroom. Just came out the boot. And started flowing over the windscreen.
That's brilliant. Oh my God.
Mate, started flowing over his windscreen now, just like that with his fucking wipers. Trying to get rid of them.
I wasn't expecting that, lad.
No. Mate, honestly, that's what he done. Like, but didn't say anything. He's just like, Davo, just come sit here. So I'm just sitting there, mate. He pulls up, just fucking double taps, mate. The boot opens and he's just like, it's like a race. They were all racing to get out, mate. And I just sitting there like, the fucking chance.
Thing is, he didn't know you were going to be in early either.
No.
So he'd have been more than happy for that just to be between him and Clough.
Yeah. It made anyone that was in the building, he would be buzzing. But just, honestly, the look on his face is just like, what's this? And I'm like, next minute, all these balloons start just rushing out the back of his car. And Nigel was just like, pfft. But which is bizarre because Nigel then took him to Burton.
Yeah.
And I had him for years afterwards. And when I went to Burton because I'd left Bradford and I had no club. So Nigel said to me, just come in and train, take over. So I went in. Man, they were fucking thick as thieves, the two of them. Like,
See,
best mates.
I think if that happened to me, I'd respect that. Do you know?
Mate,
I'd be like,
it's up there with one of the best things I've ever seen.
I can imagine.
It's like Thursday morning, 8:15, so you've just been pumped anyway. Like Wes Houlihan was taking the piss out of us. No, when they were flying, like playing little passes around everyone. And these Davies obviously thought, right, well, I'll get you. And these fucking orange.
Yeah, so he spent all day Wednesday planning it, hasn't he?
Oh,
yeah. What can I do?
Yeah.
Fully planned it.
Orange balloons. He wouldn't have just gone to a shop either, Bywater, would he? He'd get a canister of helium in his house.
Mate, it was just the way...
Just wait till tomorrow.
It was like they were coming out, but like it was like they were attacking Nigel's car because they were all over his windscreen and Nigel's put his wipers on it to try and get rid of them.
Did you see Nigel come in? And
no, did I fuck me? I legged it out. I literally once the balloons had filled his windscreen, I was out there.
You're on your own stage.
I don't know do with this.
It's all you, mate. But that's all he done, mate. So after singing, he was England's #1 to filling his car up with his balloons.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's incredible, by the way.
Mate, it's some shout. Like, you could think it. And then, like, Tuesday night after getting beat, you could be bitter and sour, couldn't you? Going, well, I'll fucking show him. Mate, he's had like 72 hours to think, is this the right move? And he stuck to his guns. He's like, yeah, I'm feeling it. But they all just started flying out.
I think that's because he was that confident in his own ability that he thought, well, if I get fucked off from me, I'll get somewhere else.
I think it's just because he'd probably just got him in a choke or something if he'd have said anything, mate. Like, he was that
There's a bit of cage fighting and stuff.
Yeah, mate, he was serious, mate. Like, he'd scare you. Even though he's so placid and like you could have a really good conversation with him, but then like just one thing will switch and you're like, mate, what the fuck's going on in your head?
Do you think he's a bit, what's that where you've got two personalities?
Split personality?
Yeah.
I think it was because he was, at that time he was still youngish, because 4 or 5 years later when I said to you, I went to Burton, he was just dead placid, like nothing fazed him, he was dead laid back. Like, he was still fucking mad with his hand gel. But he was like, he wasn't confrontational, where I think at the time, he loved confrontation. And because Roy Carroll was the keeper there as well, and he was a fucking lunatic, they were just, the pair of them, mate, were just fucking wild. Like Roy Carroll, I must have been 20. So we played, and at half time, Nigel Clough was screaming at Roy Carroll. But as he's screaming, it's like a bit of spit went on Roy. And Roy just stood up, mate, and was like, you just spat at me. And Nigel was like, no. He was like, you've just fucking spat at me. And then there's just a big fucking ruck, because Roy thinks that Nigel spat at him. But Nigel was just shouting. So he brings him off for half time anyway. I can't even remember who comes on.
England's #1.
England's #1 must have made it in. So he's in goal. So after the game, we're getting changed and Roy's still there, like sitting there, like, I'm waiting for Nigel. I was like, mate, just leave it. Like, you've said your bit, he said his bit, just fuck it off. So I thought nothing of it. I've left the game, drove back to Liverpool to see my mum and dad. I'm driving back Monday morning, like 5:30, because I've got to be in. My phone rings. Roy? I'm like, all right, Roy? I'm like, everything all right, mate? He's like, I've tried everyone, lad. No one's answered. You're the only one who's answered. I'm like, what's up? He's like, come to Nottingham and pick me up. I need to get into training. So I'm like, okay, mate, no worries. Send me the address. I'll go and pick you up. Gives me address for the casino. Turn up at the casino, mate. Roy Carroll walks out in the fucking club suit that he had on Saturday for the game. And just jumped in the car, mate, went to training as normal. So he'd been out from the game all day Sunday night till Monday morning. Just because he had the conflict with Nigel. And he had no switch off point.
Release.
Like, he just held it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just held it.
Were he pissed, Roy, or not?
Nah, because he wasn't really. He used to have a bevy. But he wasn't like, when he got in the car, reeking a veil. He still had the same suit on. But he wasn't reeking a veil. Nah, just like, he got in with like a coffee, like he was just, it was fucking normal that he'd been in the casino for 48 hours. But just like, oh, cheers, mate. I was just sitting there thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Like, he played 12 months before he was in goal for Man U. I'm playing for Tranmere, and now I'm picking him up at a casino. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? But just, honestly, the two of them were...
Did they get on?
Yeah, like, really got on. But I think they both bounced off each other. I think they both had the same switch. Like, when Roy lost it, Stevie would lose it because Roy lost it. But it's not like they'd lose it.
I thought you were going to say they calmed each other down, but no, they both...
They egged each other on. And it got worse. But we played, not like your Christmas do, you play on the Saturday. We're on the train going to London. And like we're all having like a sociable few beers and Roy and Stevie are sitting next to each other. Like the only two keepers we've got, just drinking red wine. So like they're having a laugh and you can see them talking to each other and like they do a fist pump. And then the next minute, it's a harder fist pump. And the next minute, mate, they're punching each other solidly, but like knuckle to knuckle. And I'm thinking, mate, we ain't got a fucking keeper. These two fucking... But it's like, I'm stronger than you, no, you're stronger than me. But they'd just be at it all the time, but like best mates. And then it'd be like, go on, we'll leave it now. And they'd just like be back to normal, like, I like Parky, lad. You having a nice beer there? Like, mate, you fucking serious, you used to? Absolute lunatics.
It's incredible, isn't it? Characters, man.
But literally just sat on the train, mate, just punching each other in the hands. But like, you go, and then it's like harder. And before you know it, mate, they're knocking fuck out of each other's fists. I'm like, you do know you need them. We've got fucking England's number one and fucking Northern Ireland's number one here, and we've got them punching each other. Just fucking crazy.
Little school kids, innit?
Yeah. But they both brought it out themselves. They could just be sitting there normal. And it's like they have like a little discussion together and they're like, come on, should we start now? It's like, fuck off. He's too fucking sure.
The balloons, man.
That's
up there.
One of the best stories I've ever heard on here.
Yeah.
In fact, ever.
Mate, honestly, I couldn't believe it. I'm just sitting there thinking, what's he going to do here? Because he's done loads of stuff. Like, we had a physio that wasn't a physio. So he worked for the physio department, but he wasn't a qualified physio.
Sports therapist or something.
Sports spy, I used to call him. So he come with Nigel, but he was like a spy. Yeah, he made a fatal decision of when he came in and introduced himself in the physio room, he said, I'm Nigel's eyes and ears. Whatever's said in here, if I think that it needs to go back to him, I'll go and tell him.
He's not a very good spy, is he?
But he said it from the off-go, so it'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, why have you just said that? So Rob Hull straight away, he's like, yeah, there was windows so you could see them walking up. The famous shouts, would you, for £1 million, would you let Brownie shag your bed? Not you, Brownie, this fella was called Brownie. Would you let Brownie smash your bed? But he was like, must have been 35 stone, mate. Like, massive, fat, just looked like he stunk of sweat constantly. Or it'd be, for £1 million, would you let Brownie shit on your head? Not like just stupid schoolboy stuff. But they'd always say it when he was walking up, just so he could hear it. So one of the lads made a story up. I think Bywater made a random story up. I can't remember the story. That he'd been out and he'd been drinking. And we had the night before the game just to see. Like Brownie had said it early doors that he was the eyes and ears. But we didn't know who, because the gaffer was finding things out. But when we were talking, he weren't even there. He was still finding out about stuff. So he said something in the physio room when Brownie's been in there. And Nigel's pulled Stevie, said, like, you shouldn't be out doing whatever you're doing. And Stevie'd made it up just to see if it got back to him.
Hear them all.
It's fucking Colleen Rooney and Colleen.
Yeah.
What do they call her?
Colleen
Rooney.
Rebecca
and,
Vardy.
Vardy job,
Yeah.
innit?
So Brownie's job, mate, on a Friday, he used to take all the tapes out the tape bag. Must have been 300 of them.
What, this
The strap and stuff, yeah. And then put them all back in the same place. So, like, to keep him busy, like, so he looked like he was doing something. So Bywater, we come in on the Saturday morning because we was injured and they were travelling away. I think I was injured, he weren't playing, and they were travelling away. So when he come in, Brownie weren't in. So Stevie got the, remember the little blades that you cut the hard skin off? Mate, just cut all the stitching out the bottom of the bag. Like, the big bags. Not like the little physio run-on bag. The big one that the physio takes with all the spray. Undone all the stitching. So we're just sitting there, I'm icing, he's in the gym with the window looking in. The bus is leaving, so Brownie's running to get his bag, mate. As he's lifted his bag up, the fucking arse is full of the bag, mate. And the fucking tapes have just gone. Mate, he started crying. I swear to God. He just started crying, like, uncontrollably. So I'm sitting there, like, trying to ice my leg, because I'd done my other cruciate by this time, so I've got my other cruciate's gone. So there's tapes all over the floor. I'm laughing. He's crying. Bywater's banging on the window, pointing at him. He's bending down. His fucking ass is going out of his shorts. Just full crack everywhere. Nigel comes in. He's like, Brownie, fucking hurry up. So he's like picking all the tapes up. He's throwing them in. Remember the Muller ice bags?
Yeah.
He's throwing the tapes in his ice bag to, like, try and get on a bus in time, mate. It was just fucking absolute carnage, but all caused by Stevie. Just because he made the story up. Just to see if it got back. And it was Brownie who got put it back, so he cut the arse out.
Did he get back?
Yeah, so he cut the arse out of his tape bag.
I like it, putting effort in.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, he had
Every
proper
little
planning.
stitch.
Mate, he had some fucking conspiracy stories, Stevie. Like, he'd obviously fell out. In fact, it was Sav fell out. Sav then become a bit ostracised because he was on big dough. And he wasn't going to play because Nigel cut the budget. He started signing players from fucking Burton and lower level players who came on to be good players, like Brayford, people like that who've had fucking unbelievable careers. But Sav was probably the last person left. So he stopped playing him. And Sav, as I said earlier, Sav was really insecure. So we're sat at breakfast. Me, Sav, I think it was Bray, and Jamie Ward, just all sitting having breakfast as normal. Sav walks in, like, fucking going in. I've had enough of this, I'm fucking going in. I'm going to speak to him. I can go to Brighton here on loan. I'm going in. They're like, go on, Sav. Fucking, he's taking the piss, lad. Go in. He's like, right, I'm going in. Next minute, Gary Crosby walks in. Sav, the gaffer wants you. So he walks out and Sav turns to us, he goes, this is my chance. I'm like, mate, fucking tell him. Like, you're on good money, but it's not your fault. You still should be playing. So Sav goes in. We're all waiting in the canteen. Sav comes back, mate, white as a ghost. Like, the life had drained out of him. We're like, mate, what happened? He went, you won't believe it. We're like, go on. He went. He said to me, I'm not going to play. But he's had a call off ITV. And I can go on, I'm a celebrity, get me out. Mate, he told him he can go on the show.
You're going on loads at Jungle.
With an Anton deck on. Mate, I don't want to take you.
That's what he called him in for, to know he could go on the Jungle.
Fuck me, man.
They called him in to say he could go on the Jungle.
I think that's another one.
Yeah. If you could picture him, like his hair's, he's had his hair done, so he's got it ponytailed up, he looks fucking well. He's like, I'm going in, lads. I'm going to tell him, come back, mate, fucking bobble out. Look fucking scrappy dude, mate. He said, I can go in the jungle.
right.
He thought he was going on loan to Brighton, mate. He ended up in the jungle.
I've had ITV on.
I didn't see that one coming out.
I've had the producers on, lads, and going in the jungle. Funny enough, he ended up going to Brighton, though. He did end up at Brighton, mate. He fucked the jungle off.
Because probably his insecurities, he'd be thinking, I can still do a job as a footballer.
Yeah.
And he's come out thinking, he's trying to flog me to the fucking jungle.
I'm going in the jungle, lads. But he was, no, like, he's
superb.
fucking pristine, mate. Fully gel back, ponytail, looked lovely. Come back, mate, fucking frizzy bomb. Just like, fucking hell, lads, going in the fucking jungle here.
That's incredible.
Did you get on with Clough?
Yeah, I did, mate. At the start, it was a bit, because I was young, he was very much like his dad. Obviously, I didn't know what his dad was like, but from speaking to people, his traits were very similar.
Yeah.
Like, I'd play up front in the Championship on Saturday, but then played left back for the reserves on Monday, just because I was a young lad. Like, that's the way he treated you.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah.
it was like he just grounded you, like, straight away.
Yeah.
You'd be walking down the corridor, mate. He had this thing about walking around with the cricket ball. He used to walk around the whole training ground with the cricket ball and just fucking lash it at you from nowhere. So you'd just be walking to breakfast. He'd like pop round the corner, see you, and just go, fuck off.
No warning.
No warning, nothing, mate.
Corky.
Yeah, just fucking fall on, get down, catch it.
Well, the thing is, his dad did that.
Yeah.
His dad did that with football, didn't he, if you remember?
Yeah, I
No,
think
it
we
was
didn't
a
have a cricket ball.
Or a tennis ball.
Tennis ball,
Yeah,
yeah.
mate, he used to...
He took it up a notch with a cork.
Did you not throw it at Gemmo? A football at Gemmo?
Yeah, that was the one that was in the middle of the dressing room. But
Right.
he always used to have a cricket ball or a ball. A
Yeah,
tennis
mate,
ball.
we come in from training. Sorry. We were on a really bad run. Like, lost 5 on the bounce. Dreading coming in Monday morning. Know that feeling of, fucking, we're getting it here. Like, I've drove in, mate. And the groundsman, he's just going up and down on the same spot. Just cutting the grass. Like, literally just in a line, up and down. I'm thinking, has he been on the aisle? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Walk in the dressing room. There's 2 squads. So I'm thinking, got a game? What the fuck's going on? Go through the door, mate. There's Nigel putting Slazenger all whites out. Like full whites, cricket whites, everything. He's got 11 there. He's got 11 over there. I'm like, all right, Gaffer. He's like, you're any good at cricket, son? I'm like, I'm all right. He's like, I'll have you on my team. So he's like, this is my team. So we're fucking getting all whited up. We come out to training. He's like, right, lads, batting team, you can have a few beers while your 2 are in. So the lads, like, we've lost all 5 on the spin here at the time. So the lads are getting pissed on the fucking behind the boundary ropes at the training ground. You've got 11 lads running round trying to catch cricket balls. Right? You've got 2 lads in the middle who are fucking filled in because they've just been drinking. But at this time, Bywater still is playing. So someone hits the ball, mate, and Bywater's running after it, right? And this is on my kid's life. Bywater slides the catcher, dislocates his thumb, right? So Bywater's snapped his thumb. So he's like, that's the physio. Sully, fuck. So Sully's like, picks his bag up, runs on. As Sully runs on, mate, he pops his hamstring. So the physio is now hobbling over to Bywater. So Bywater gets up, walks over to the physio. The physio's on the floor like that. Mate, fucking hamstring's gone.
Cricket balls flying everywhere.
Mate, there's balls flying everywhere. Next minute, all like the gates open and all the girls start coming in. Like all our families just start driving in. I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? Next minute, there's big minibuses start pulling up. Mate, done a family fun day on the fucking training ground. The chefs come out barbecue. So we've played cricket in the morning. We fucking kids are on a bouncy castle. They pulled out of school. Sasha's over there having a glass of wine with Nigel's missus. Bywater's got sat in the fucking tires. And the physio's lying on his own physio bed.
And you've lost 5 in a row.
And we've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, man.
Oh, God.
That is just his old. You can just imagine the old man doing it, can't you?
Mate, honestly, so good. When I like looking around, counting everyone, mate, there's 2 people with their heads down just bobbing in the water, like gone. I'm thinking, oh fuck. So he would drive from Newcastle to the training ground at like 4 in the morning to make sure he was there for training, but then sleep in the car park and still miss training. So the lads are like, what the fuck's going on? Chief executive, my fault, I forgot to register players in time. Mate, we turned up to the City ground with 13 players and the 2 subs with both goalies. That's it, mate. For 5-6 days, nothing. Can't remember a thing. I used to walk in there, and know when you're knocking, you wait. I used to just knock and walk in, and he was never there.
You think he were on the table?
I used to be like
Cupboard.
I used to be like, where the fuck's he gone? Like he could genuinely disappear.